All right, hello everyone. Today is going to be part one of the fall semester exam review. So we're going to go ahead and jump in with number one. Number one is covering topic 3-3, so this is going to be a system of linear equations. It says a shop makes tables and chairs. So those are our two variables, tables and chairs. It says each table takes 9 hours to assemble and 3 hours to finish. Each chair takes 4 hours to assemble and 2 hours to finish. It says that the assemblers can work for at most 250 hours each week, and the finishers can work for at most 80 hours each week. Write the inequalities representing the number of hours. It says let T be tables and C be chairs. So we have two different things going on with tables and chairs. We have the assembly and we have the finishing. So it says that assemblers can work at most 250. So it can be less than 250 or equal to 250 because they can't work more than 250, but they could be equal to 250. So if they're going to work on tables, that would be 9 hours times the number of tables they work on, plus, and then it says chairs are 4 hours, so 4 times C. So this is what the assemblers can work on. They can either be working on tables or chairs, 9 hours per table, 4 hours per chair, and that can be less than or equal to 250. For finishing, it says they can work at most 80 hours. So this is going to be the same inequality sign, and it's 80 hours. Now for tables, it says it takes them 3 hours. So we're going to do 3 times T. And for chairs, it says it takes them 2 hours. So this is going to be 2C. So this is my system of inequalities. This first equation is for assembly. This second equation is for finishing. Now let's look at number 2. It says for the function shown, give the domain and the range. So remember, domain is my x value, so going left to right. So this graph goes to -1 on the left. That's as far left as it goes. So that is my minimum. We're going to go from -1. And then as far right as I go is 2. So our domain is going to be from -1 to 2. Range, remember, is my y value. So this is going up and down. So so the lowest point on my graph is at -3. So my range goes from -3 all the way, and my maximum value of my graph is 6. So my maximum is going to be 6. So my domain is from -1 to 2, and my range is from -3 to 6. Now, for number 3, it says which ordered pair is in the solution to the system below. So this is y is less than or equal to -2x plus 3, and then y is greater than 3x minus 2. So for this, I am going to go to y equals in my calculator, and I'm going to type in these two functions. So -2x plus 3 and 3, there we go, 3x minus 2. And then I'm going to go up to my shading. This is less than or equal to, so I want my shading on the bottom of this line. And the other one is greater than, so I want my shading to be above this line, and we're going to go hit graph. So this is what my two lines look like. So if I were to plot 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, that point is over here. So that will not work. We are not inside the overlap region. Now for 1, -3, that is down here in this shaded region, but it's not where they overlap. So again, it doesn't work. Now for -3, 0, it is over here inside my double shaded region, so this one will work. To double check D, 4, 0, outside of the shaded region, so it doesn't work. So we want answer choice C because it is in both shaded regions where they overlap. Now looking at 4, it says find the domain, range, x-intercept, and axis of symmetry for y is equal to absolute value of x. So just for reference, I am going to go graph absolute value of x. So absolute value, excuse me, I hit the wrong button. Second window, absolute value of x. We're going to go hit graph just so we can see what this looks like. So starting with domain, again, this is what x is equal to. So going to the left, I do not stop. So that means we're going to start at negative infinity. Going to the right, I also do not stop. So we're going to stop at positive infinity. So we are equivalent to negative infinity to positive infinity, or we can also write that as all real numbers. Now, X-intercept is where it touches the x-axis. So, excuse me. So remember, this is the x-axis, the one that runs left and right. It touches right here at the origin. All right, that is the point 0, 0. It's where the x and y-axis meet. And then axis of symmetry, A of S. This is where I can cut this graph in half. And so you notice I can cut this graph in half right along the y-axis. And the y-axis is the same as x equals 0. Because x is equal to 0 at every single point along the y-axis. Moving on to number 5, it says to solve 2x plus 8, or absolute value of 2x plus 8 is less than or equal to 20. Now remember, since this is absolute value, we're going to have two possible answers. My absolute value is by itself right now, so we can go ahead and write our second equation. Oh, excuse me, I wrote something incorrectly. So we can also write this as 2x plus 8. When we write the opposite equation, we're going to change it to greater than or equal to, and we're going to make that 20 the opposite sign, so negative 20. And we're going to solve both of these for x. So I'm going to start by subtracting 8. I'll do that on both of them. It's the same steps. So this one is going to become 2x is less than or equal to 20 minus 8 is 12. This one is going to become 2x is greater than or equal to negative 20 minus 8 is going to be negative 28. I divide this one by 2 to get x by itself. I divide this one by 2 to get x by itself. And we're going to get x is less than or equal to 6. And this one's going to get us x is greater than or equal to negative 28 divided by 2 is negative 14. So we can combine these two. We can say that x is going to be less than or equal to 6, but it is greater than or equal to negative 14. Now number 6, it gives us a domain and range of some sort of function. And it's asking us to give the domain and range of f to the negative 1. So remember, this is the same as the inverse. So when we take the inverse of a function, the domain and the range switch. So my original domain was x is greater than or equal to negative 3, excuse me. I now am going to take the values from the range. So that is going to be x is going to be greater than or equal to 0 because that's what my range said. Domain is going to take what the domain said. So this is going to be, instead of y is greater than or equal to 0, it is now going to be y is greater than or equal to that negative 3 from our domain. So this is domain and range of my inverse. Again, I just took these values and swapped them. Number 7, it says to find the inverse g of x of this function. So we are going to start by switching x and y. So currently it is f of x, which is the same as y, equals 3x plus 9. I'm now going to make it x is equal to 3y plus 9. Now we do not write functions in terms of x equals, so we have to get y by itself. I'm going to start by subtracting that 9 over. And I'm going to get x minus 9 is equal to 3y. I'm going to divide by 3, because again, we want y completely by itself. And x over 3 is going to get us 1/3 x. Negative 9 divided by 3 is minus 3, and that is now equal to a singular y. So this is my g of x, so we're going to write it as g of x instead of y. G of x is equal to 1/3 x minus 3. Now the last one for this video is going to be number 8. This will be a 3-part video, so check parts 2 and 3 for the rest of these questions. Excuse me. It says Joe had a tire rotation, an oil change, and a headlight replacement done on his truck, and the total cost was $189. Josie had a tire rotation and an oil change and paid $95. Jose had a headlight replacement and a tire rotation and paid $72. So these total costs are going to be the totals that our equations are equal to. So we have one equation equal to 189, one equation equal to 95, and one equation equal to 72, because these are our total costs. Now, Joe is the one that paid $189, and he got tire rotation, oil change, and headlight replacement. So that is going to be X and Y and Z. He got all three, and those are equal to $189. Josie paid $95, and she paid that because she got a tire rotation, which is X, and she got an oil change, which is Y. So that is just going to be X plus Y. And then it said Jose had a headlight replacement and a tire rotation. So that is Z and X. To write that in alphabetical order, that is going to be X plus Z. Now it just asked us for the system, so this is our final answer. But if we wanted to solve for the cost of each, we could. Now, if you have any questions about 1 through 8, please ask your teacher. Otherwise, move on to part 2 and 3 for the rest of these answers, and have a great day.